Yo, what's up guys? Again, it's your boy Alex. Today I'm here to introduce you to the 6 of the best wishlist plugins in the market that you can use for your website in 2023. If you're ready, let's get into it. Okay, as you know, selecting a wishlist plugin for your website may include lots of challenges, but good for you. I've done lots of researches through the last year and I came up with these 6 plugins that you can add to your WooCommerce store. You can see the name of these plugins: Addonify, MC, TI, Wishsuite, WPC, and YITH. I'm going to compare them in 4 factors: user experience and user interface, product reviews, updates, and the premium features. In the end, I will introduce the 3 finalists, and at last, I will recommend one plugin to use on your website. Okay, let's go. First, I want to explore through the interface of each plugin and see the ease of use of each one and check whether they are good for your website or not. The first plugin is Addonify. Let me activate this and see its performance on my website. So let's go to the settings and see what does the plugin offers to us. Well, you can see the total display and interface of the plugin settings. It features a pretty simple display, and the design of the settings and each option is not that hard that you don't understand. The plugin offers in the general options some items such as enable wishlist that I think it's mostly unnecessary, because when you activate the plugin you probably enable the wishlist on the website. But the other settings or wishlist page require login. The plugin offers the login notice in the free version, and you can see the other settings. It's simple that you can understand all of the options, and in the styles you can see we have a default style that the plugin offers, and probably the colors and the icons will adapt the default style of the plugin. But if you want to customize the styles yourself, you can choose different styles for the add to wishlist button, pop-up, sidebar, and other elements of the plugin on your website. And at last, it offers another tab that it says coming soon. It seems the plugin isn't developing very good, and it mostly offers the basic features that simple wishlist would offer and nothing more. And I think the simple display of the settings may be handy for users that are new to WordPress, but if you want a more technical plugin and you are not a basic user of the WordPress, I won't recommend this, and I suggest you to use a more advanced plugin. So let's get back to the plugins and activate the next one. Okay, let me deactivate the Addonify. And for the second option, I want to activate, for example, Wishsuite. Okay, let's go to the settings and see what features does the Wishsuite offers. Well, we can see the plugin offers 4 tabs on the settings. The first one is general settings, that has only one option that says limit wishlist use. And if you choose it, you can enable the login option for the users. And the next tab has some settings for the button. You can show the button product list, and you can customize the button text, and pretty simple options. The next tab is table settings, and you can design what to show and not to show on the wishlist table. And in the next, you can see you can customize the table heading text, empty wishlist content, and other options. And in the bottom, we have a box that is for the social share button, that you can select which social media you want to add in the wishlist page and enable to share. And the total display of the settings seems pretty simple. And the last tab is style settings, that you can choose only two options, what is theme style and custom style. That probably enables you to choose colors, hover colors, and other options. It seems that the Wishsuite offers more options than Addonify, but still the display and the design of the interface of the plugin is pretty simple. Maybe developers didn't spend enough time to design a better interface for the admin panel of the plugin. But I think the options that the free version of the plugin offers, it's pretty good, and what you want from a basic wish list is featured in the Wishsuite. So let's get back to the plugins and see the next one. Okay, let's deactivate the plugin and go to the next one. So for the next one, let me activate the TI wishlist and see the settings of the plugin. Okay, you can see after activating the TI wishlist, the plugin places a notice in the panel that says you should create a new page for the wishlist. But let me run the setup wizard for the wishlist and see what does the plugin offer. Okay, here is the quick setup feature of the TI wishlist that I think it's one of the best features that this plugin offers, and it's very good for the new users and who are pretty basic to the WordPress and the use of plugins. And you can see the plugin partitioned the settings in multiple steps, and it would be pretty simple. Let's go and see how would the settings perform. So in the first step, you should define a page for the wishlist to be shown, and you can choose any page you want for the wishlist. And in the next step, you can see some settings for the button and customization of the add to cart button. The setup wizard offers limited options for the button options, but if you want to customize and design the button perfectly, you can choose the settings and style options. So let's go to the next step and see what that offers. This is the processing options, that it says how those products should be removed from the wish list, and I think it wouldn't be necessary to add a separate step for just the processing options, but it's a simple wizard and I think it's good. So let's go to the next step. Here is the settings for the share option, that you can simply choose which social medias you want to share your wish list, and you have lots of options here, and simply you can check or uncheck each social media you don't want to. And the next step is for the support. You can simply enable the support or uncheck this if you don't want to get the developer's help and you want to customize the plugin manually. And the last step is saying ready. I think the wizard would be completed. Okay, we're done here, and the wizard helped us to add the wishlist plugin to our website very quickly. But if you want to choose more options and set more details for your wishlist plugin, you can go to the wishlist settings. So here the complete settings of the plugin, but the setup wizard would be a perfect option for basic users and also the users that want to just add a button for the wishlist and don't want to get more settings from the plugin, and it would help to set up the options very quickly. But here you can see lots of options here. The total display of the plugin seems pretty cool, and you can see some tooltips here that explains each options says what. And in the general settings you have options such as the page for the wishlist, require login, and some other options that seems pretty cool. In the general settings you have ability to customize the text for the wishlist page, and you have permalinks here. And in the next box we have product page at the wishlist button settings, that here you can design and modify each option you want for the wishlist plugin, such as a custom icon, for example, for the wishlist button, and button text, and other options that seems pretty handy. The next box is product listings button settings, that enables the button to show in the product list page. The previous option was for the product page, and this one is for the product listing. Here we have the same options as the product page, and in the next one we have wishlist product settings, that you want to show add to cart button or not, and you can customize the text and some other options that you want to show near the add to cart button. And the next box is wishlist table settings. Until here we have lots of options that plugin enables us for the free version. This one is for the table settings, and you can check or uncheck for each option you want to show on the wishlist table. And really the tooltip is very handy, but I think the location of the tooltip covers almost half of the page, and maybe the checkboxes could be smaller, and the total design, although it's very good and attractive, but I think it could be better. And in this box you have social media options, and you can customize the text. And here we have wishlist product counter, that is a very good option. You can customize it here, and you can enable some options for the counter, zero value, and other options that seems very good for the counter. And the last one is the support chat settings, that if you want to get help from the developers. And I think the total display and total interface of the TI WooCommerce Wishlist is very good, and it offers us very handy options comparing to the previous plugins that we saw, and probably it would be a challenging rival for the next plugins that we want to introduce. So let's get back to the panel and go to the next plugin. So let me deactivate the plugin. Okay, in the next one I want to introduce you to the plugin that is already my favorite, the MC WooCommerce Wishlist. Let me activate this. You can see I already have the pro version because I think it is a great choice. So if I go to the settings and show you the admin panel of the plugin, you can see a pretty attractive design for the panel of the settings, and you can see each tab is pretty partitioned, and all of the settings that are related together goes to the separate tab. In the general tab we have some boxes that is for the display settings. Here we can enable wishlist for all users or just logged-in users, and here we can choose the action that you want after clicking the button. And here you can see a whole box that is dedicated to the pop-up settings. You can add images you want for the pop-up and design a whole new content for the pop-up. And we have a strong box that is dedicated for the style and color of the buttons. You can choose the background hover, text color, and even radius and border color of the pop-up box. That I think it's a very good tool for choosing the style. In the next tab we have two boxes that one of them is for the single product page. You have lots of features here. You can customize the button of the colors or sizes, and you can even have a tooltip for the button and choose the icon. And in the next box we have the product lists box, that the settings are pretty same as the product page, but this one is also including the tool for customizing the buttons. And in the last two boxes we have options to customize all of the text we have for the button or tooltip. And in the last box we have a whole box for customizing the notification text, for example product added or forced to login, and some other options for the notifications. In the next tab we have wishlist page, that all of the features you want on the wishlist page is appeared here. You can see lots of features. The share settings is here, and the login notice, you can design a whole box for the login notice, and also you can customize the color and the size of the buttons. And here we have settings for the table, what you want to show on the wishlist table, and select the view mode. The plugin offers two separate modes for viewing, grid and list. And also we have a template that is default for the wishlist, and if you choose this, all of the customization options will disappear. But I think the total settings in this tab is very handy, that you can choose them. And here is a fun option, that the tooltips are in a question mark, and if you hover on them you can see the tooltip for each button that explains the whole setting. And I think it's a better design comparing to the TI WooCommerce Wishlist, because the tooltip covers almost half of the page, and the importance of the settings wouldn't be shown. But here we have a question mark that is pretty simple but also effective. And in the next tab we have a whole settings for the counter. We have options to add the counter and select an icon for it. And also we have a great feature here for the drop down, and it's a mini wish list that offers some products in the wish list. And also here we have the customization option for the counter style and mini wish list style. And this tool looks very simple yet very handy for me. You can easily choose the color and design and see which color is the perfect choose for you. And here we have some options to choose for the font size, and the last items are for the text. And in the last tab, that is advanced settings, the developers put the unnecessary options here. You can ignore them all, but if you want to have a technical plugin, you can use these options. And I think the total display and interface of the plugin is very attractive, that I want to recommend you to use this plugin, because not only it's a great option for the basic users and viewers to the WordPress, but also a perfect choice for developers or old users of the WordPress and business owners that they want to improve their website. I think we have covered all of the settings for the plugin. Let's go to the next plugin. So if I deactivate this, if you want to deactivate the plugin, it asks why you want to deactivate. I say skip and deactivate. But if you choose any item here, you can click on them, and the developers will probably contact you and asks for the problem and probably fix them. Okay, the next one, I want to activate the WPC Smart Wishlist. So let me check the settings of the plugin. Well, here we have 4 tabs that offers us some settings. In the first tab we have general settings that enables us to disable the wishlist for logged in user. You can choose you want to auto remove the product, and here you can see the explanation. And in the next box we have options for the multiple wishlist that unfortunately is only available for the premium versions. In the next one we have some options for the button that you can choose. You want to add a button or a link for the wishlist. Here we have icons and actions you want to for the wishlist button, and here we have some options for the pop-up that you can customize the style and the position of the pop-up. And here in the next box we have some options for the wishlist page. You can choose a custom page for the wishlist to be shown, and here we have share options that you can choose which social links you want to show in the share options. And the last one is for the menu. We have an option to choose the menu you want to add the wishlist menu at the end. In the localization tab, the plugin dedicates the whole tab for the text, and you can choose in each option what to be shown for the text. For example, we have default text for the multiple wishlist, and here we have some options for the message. You have some options for the empty wishlist notice, empty delete wishlist confirm, and in the first box we have some options for the button text, empty wishlist button. You can even have a note for the button, and I think dedicating a whole tab for just the text is not a good partition, but it's the choice of the developers and I will respect that. In the next tab we have the premium version, and the last tab is for the essential kits that probably the developers offer us some additional plugins for our website. So I think the whole display and the total design of the admin panel of the plugin is not that attractive, but yet it would work for many users. But I think the developers could done far better. At least comparing to MC Wishlist and TI Wishlist, this plugin has nothing to say. Let's get back to the installed plugins and select the last one. Okay, let's see what does YITH want us to see. So here we have the display of the YITH wishlist. I always asked myself, the developers published the plugin almost 10 years ago. However, the total display and design of the admin panel of the plugin is not what we expect from the plugin with such an experience. I mean, look at the total design and display of the settings. We have some limited features here. We have general settings that you can choose only what to do after the product is added to wishlist, and here you can choose one option, that is show add to wishlist in loop. And in the next box again you have only one option, and the next box is for text customization, that you have 4 options here that you can choose your customized text. In the last box we have some options for the customization of the style and color of the wishlist button and icon. And that's it for this tab. In the wishlist page options, you can see again each box offers only one option. Here you can choose a simple, you can choose your custom page for the wishlist. Here we have some options for the wishlist page and social medias you want to share the wish list and what to show in the wishlist table. Here we have customization option for the text, and again some options for the style and color customization of each share button. That I think it's the only feature that is different from the previous plugins that we saw, different colors for each social media. That's it. I think The other options here, the last tab is saying get the premium plugin, and the total interface and user experience of this plugin is mainly average and is not what you want from a basic wish list. I mean, the free version doesn't offer anything comparing to the previous plugins such as MC or TI or even WPC. And I forgot to mention that the MC Wishlist also offers a quick setup guide for the basic features, as same as the TI WooCommerce Wishlist. I think if you want to choose a plugin that offers a great user experience and user interface, I would recommend MC Wishlist and TI Wishlist. Okay, now it's time to conclude the features that we have reviewed and try to choose the best wishlist plugin that we have among these 6 options. The first factor we are reviewing is the user interface and user experience. The best option I think you can choose is the MC Wishlist, because the design of the display and the admin panel is very attractive, and it's suitable for not only the basic users but also for the developers and advanced users. The next option you can choose is TI Wishlist, that with a little distance is a good choice, and you can choose it. It has also an attractive display, and the total interface of the plugin makes a great experience for you. The good option you can choose is WPC Wishlist. Although the plugin doesn't offer an attractive design, but it would work for you, and you will understand most of the features, and the total display may be workable for you. And we have 2 medium options that we can choose on our website, Wishsuite and YITH. The total display and the admin panel and the interface of the settings may not be very attractive, and they just try to explain that which option do what and nothing more. And the last one, that is the weakest among all of them, is Addonify. The plugin seems haven't been developed very good, and it has a whole empty tab that says coming soon, and I think the developers aren't focused on this plugin, and they may have working on other projects